Hello, friend. Welcome to day 4 of our 20-day challenge together. My name is Alicia Carrasco. I'm your host, and I am an entrepreneur, author, wife, and mom of two. And if this is the very first episode that you are listening to, and you're wondering what the 20-day challenge is, let me explain you very quickly in hopes that you can also join in. So, for the first 20 episodes of this podcast, I propose you to be your guide on this journey of self transformation by committing 20 days to listen to the corresponding episode or the corresponding video where we dive deep into the keys and techniques to explore your inner self. And then you commit to do for those 20 days every day 3 to 5 minutes of journaling reflection. And if you'd like to take me up on this challenge, go ahead and keep listening to this episode. Or you can also go to day 1 if you want to start from the beginning. So let's dive in today in day 4 of this challenge. Discovering the reason why you are here and who you really are and what your infinite potential is actually a process of constant awakening. And it is a process that involves gradually chipping away all those layers, like in the story of the Golden Buddha that we talked about in day 3 of this challenge, and discover the inner self that is hidden in the deepest part of each one of us. The awakening process is something marvelous, but at the same time is long and it can be very painful because on many occasions you're going to be facing your fears, your wounds, your most deepest insecurities, and so on, right? And those things, those demons that you've been hiding within yourself, denying or even ignoring them because it is hard to look at them, right? So I'm going to share right now my personal experience with this, how I embraced my insecurities. So in my case, I vividly remember the day when, for the first time in my life, it was at the age of 32. Right now, I'm 36, 37 in a few months. I realized that all the problems that I had had in my life had been caused because I was insecure. It was this insecurity that actually had led me to be like very defensive, to be sometimes prideful, and even feel that internal anguish continuously, to also self sabotage myself and be afraid actually of every decision that I had to make. I didn't accept as well my defects or weaknesses, and I felt guilty for everything. So I can continue, but it was like very bad. And you know what? Apparently, I had always seemed to be for the others that person that was like very confident and secure. But the truth, it was like that was not real at all inside me. Personally, it took me years and a great deal of effort to grow internally until I realized that nothing was going to work if I continued like running from that sensation, that feeling of insecurity that I had deep down inside me. It was like a rooted part of myself that I really hate it. I didn't understand why I had to feel that way all the time. The guilt, the insecurity, it was bad. So without realizing it on a conscious level, I decided to cover up that feeling that made me feel so bad, right? That's what we do a lot of the times. We put like a band-aid. And it was not until I sat down in front of that insecurity and looked it in the face, leaving my ego at the door, of course, that I began to gain an internal clarity and feel an inner force like nothing I had ever felt before. So rather than turning away from that insecurity, I embraced it and I tried to understand from the bottom of my heart the reason why it was there, what it wanted to tell me, and what I had never listened to. So without judging and from a place of kindness and compassion towards myself, I made my peace with this feeling, understanding that it had been there all the time just to help me awaken and evolve internally like I had never done before. From that moment onwards, the unconscious blockages that have been built within me through fear of that insecurity began to crumble. And I discovered an inner strength that is with me today making me more aware of the patterns that I used to fall into during my life, such as becoming annoyed or getting into bad mood or even giving defensive answers. And it also helps me to even like avoid falling into them when I feel triggered. So gaining this awareness and clarity requires an ongoing awakening. So it requires a daily commitment to yourself. This is the key, a daily commitment to yourself through routines that calm the mind and increase your vibrational energy, and to continue working in that direction of internal honesty, compassion, and kindness towards yourself without judging or sabotaging yourself, allowing yourself to be who you really are in spite of what the subconscious patterns tell you. So, creating this level of change in your life also requires a certain responsibility. Responsibility for each one of your thoughts, experiences, and feelings. So, this means gaining total control of how you react to everything, given that the only thing that you can control in every situation is how you perceive it and how you react to it. So the journey of awakening involves taking responsibility for your life, facing your fears and insecurities, and understanding that your happiness is only under your control. And the key to begin this process of internal discovery is to simply start, even without knowing where it will take you. You do not need to have the whole path laid out for you. You just need to take the first step and then the next one, and so on. And once you start doing this, the path will begin to open up before you like magic, and you'll start noticing things about yourself and others that you didn't before because you were blocked. So, for today's challenge, I like to leave you with one exercise to reflect on and journal for a few minutes. And it has 3 steps. The first step is write down one or two insecurities that have been looming in your mind lately. Don't overthink it, just write them down. Step 2, reflect on how these insecurities manifest in your daily life. Are there specific situations or triggers that amplify them? Describe them and write them down. And the third step is now separate yourself from those insecurities, imagining that you are, again, the observer, because that's who you are. Actually, you are the observer, and they are separate entities sitting across from you. And ask them, what do you want to tell me? And try to engage in a written dialogue with them, exploring their origins. Just be curious about it and be open to understand what is it that they want to tell you, why they are there, why are they present in your mind. So this exercise today may take you a little bit more than 5 minutes, depending on the insights that you get from the internal conversation with your insecurities, but just the fact of writing them down and facing them with kindness and compassion towards yourself will open you to a higher awareness whenever these insecurities come again and arise again. So I hope you enjoyed this episode today. And I hope you also enjoy doing this journaling reflection exercise. And that's all from me. If you like this episode, please, it would mean the world to me if you liked, rate it, or subscribe, or even share with a friend. So that's it. Thank you for listening. See you in the next one.